tell the people, hey, pretty girl.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all?
And so, yo, I met this beautiful woman a few years ago, and we most definitely have been rocking and supporting one another as we should in the Black community. And she is doing amazing things in business. She's doing amazing things to help other people's business. And I just wanted her on here to share that information with these people. And so we appreciate you for being with us today. Tell the people a little bit about you.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Naomi Morgan. I am the founder of All She Academy. All She Academy is my nonprofit where we mentor young girls into the next stages in their life. So, from high school to college and college into corporate America, we do different webinars such as resume skills, interview skills, and also just how to handle and manage different things in society and how to handle like corporate politics, as you say, and just kind of be there as a hands-on mentor. We also raise money for scholarships. So this year we're getting out 2 $1,000 scholarships and a $500 business grant.
Wow.
So we're
round of applause.
Yes. Yeah, but being in HR, I just realized there was a huge gap.
Okay.
Especially working in recruiting and going to a lot of the job fairs. I noticed every Black person I came across struggled with pitching themselves.
Man, say that again.
Every Black person I came across struggled with pitching themselves. And we did the worst in interviews. I was recruiting for years, and I'd say I've done over 1,000 interviews, right? African Americans do the worst.
Yes.
Really? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so why do you think that is? Sorry, Mr. Reed.
No.
We don't have the examples. I was with my younger cousin last night, and we were watching the Dancing Dolls, Bring It, the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the mom on there, her daughter was trying to go to Performing Arts Academy. Gotcha. And this young lady, she only does buck dancing, which is more like on the East Coast, you know, very hardcore, rump shaking, anything you think of. Well, performing arts, they want you to do it all. They want you to do classical, jazz, ballet. And this girl didn't want to stretch herself. And the mother was telling her, oh, that's fine. Just be you. That what you do is good enough. Not in today's corporate world and society. Exactly. And I feel like a lot of times the wrong message is sent. It's okay to be yourself. But unfortunately, this is not a game that we created. And we have to know how to play it. But because we don't have enough of us in those positions that give us that, I don't want to say mentorship, but give us that view, that image of what it's supposed to be like, we don't know how to act and perform in those spaces.
Yes.
Only those who are privileged to nepotism are able to really take full advantage of that. But from those of us who started from the bottom, unless we force ourselves and put ourselves in those positions, we'll never learn. And that's one of the things that I noticed, and one of the things that I wanted to give back is I feel like even when I was doing mentoring with the church, a lot of the older ladies were, oh, you're fine, just do what you want to do. No, that's not good enough. Unfortunately, as Black women, we have to do 2-3 times as much to get noticed. And you can't just be enough. Nope. Enough is poor in this economy. You have to be more than enough, overqualified in order to be in the same space. And that's a message that
just
I feel
to
like
be in the
missing.
space.
Just
that's
to be
big.
in the space. And that's the message that I feel like is missing.
Man, you know what? I love the way you worded everything, first of all. Everything, the way you expressed it, the way you gave those examples, those are real skills that are lacking. And Mr. Reed and I always talk about the decorum, understanding when to do what and what setting. And because we're lacking that, you know, not just Black people, Hispanic people, and then less fortunate white people as well. So it's not just us, it's really the culture as a whole. Right. These years have went by, and it's lacking how you present yourself. And they laugh at me because I tell people, the kids always tell me I'm overdressed at work. And I say, well, no, y'all are underdressed. I say, because at the end of the day, you're supposed to present yourself accordingly. I say, and what is this building? They say it's a school. I say, so we're here to show you how to be professionals. I say, if you come in here sagging, if you come in with house shoes on and pajamas, how are you going to care of yourself once you get to the work world. I say, and you don't have that day to day at your house, people showing you and telling you this stuff. So it's our job to try to help bridge that gap while you here with us. It's always just sad, and it's unfortunate that these things are taking place and nobody is taking heed. So the fact that you took this seriously enough to really reach out and help those kids throughout the church, throughout the schools and those programs, that's a big thing. And so that's why I wanted the people to hear this, because you killed it. Another applause. Another applause.
Thank you.
I know that's right. What would you say is was like the number one? What was the sore thumb, I guess, in interviews that you sat in?
We do not know how to market ourselves. And what I mean by that is, I say culturally, although I know it's depending on the class that you're in, right? Poor and rich, it's divides. But when I would go to job fairs or in interviews, mostly Indians, especially them, and white Americans, male or female, were very, hi, my name is Naomi. I brought Shell $20 million. I've managed assets for X, Y, and Z. I do this, that, and the third. They know how to push their shoulders back and fake it so they can make it. And in interviews, I noticed that a lot of African Americans, especially women, we tend to, well, I'm not too sure, like our shoulders are a little bit more down. Everything is, oh, well, I'm a mom. I didn't ask you whether you were a mom. I could care less. I want to know if you can come in here and do the job. And I feel like too oftentimes we revert to what we think others think of us versus projecting what we want them to know. And I feel like that's our biggest downfall outside of the image, and a lot of times in our name. Unfortunately, before they even see you, I've heard people, because I've worked in oil and gas, country, redneck, conservative areas. They look at the name and they're automatically like, well, what is this? How do you pronounce that? And like, oh, they automatically start prejudging you before you even walk in the room. And then when you walk in the room and you live up to your name, I can't save you.
No,
I cannot save you.
Yeah, you live up to your name.
Exactly. Your name is important. And I unfortunately cannot save everybody. And I try my hardest before they even get to the interview. Like, look, this is what you need to do. You come in dressed like this, be super professional. This is what they're looking for.
No, for sure.
Bring this out on your resume. Say this is that and the third. This is all I can help you with. Now you have to deliver at this point. Because I try to give everybody a fair share and opportunity, especially if I think that you can do it. And even if they're like, no, we don't want that person. I'm like, well, that's the person you can afford. So here's your options. Figure it out. And then they're looking at me like, well, oh, okay. Well, I guess we can give them the opportunity. Yeah, you don't have a choice. Because what they will do and what's been happening is they'll bring in someone who they like and who they know.
They can't even do the job.
It usually does not work out because a lot of those people are in it for the money. Everybody is in it for the money, but for those who really, really want a chance, it's harder for them to get through the door. You have to have somebody who believes in you. And a lot of times the people who believe in you are not in those spaces.
No, I agree. It's crazy you say that, because nepotism, that word is so strong. And I don't think that people understand how we could look at that as such a negative thing, but that's the only reason why we're lacking in so much in our community, because people feel like, oh, well, I don't need nobody speaking for me, or I don't know. Speak for me, please, in a positive way. We love to have accolades and things that don't matter, but when it comes to opportunity to make more money, to grow your family, to grow your financial status, like, nobody wants to be put out there in the light where, okay, I know Jessica does this, okay, I know Naomi does that. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with us uplifting each other in that way of the way they do it? Indians, Hispanics, white people, baby, they're going to make sure that Susan is about to graduate next year. I'm talking about your kid graduating this year. They talking about their child graduating the next school year. You can't even get your child in the door that's actually in a position to do the job, and probably even have internships they have already done before that time comes. But because we not pushing them in that light, we're unable to reach those goals, and that's sad. And it's not just us saying it. I mean, it's going around. It's a big discussion more and more, especially with all the changes that are being made in the education system. So many schools are getting shut down, and it's just terrible. It's depressing at this point. I know people that graduated my same school year, but in a different district, their schools don't even exist. So that is terrible. And so what are we showing our kids? Like, what kind of legacies are left behind in that moment?
None. I feel like absolutely none. And I've been at a few jobs, and they've come into the dorm like, hey, we have to interview this person. I said, we don't have a role for this person. Well, their dad is friends with the CEO. So we need to figure out a role. And that goes back to when I was mentoring, and a lot of the older women who I was working with at the time were like, oh, these kids don't need to go to college. Well, what are they going to do? They don't have to go to college. I perfectly agree. But what are they going to do?
Right.
I feel like a lot of times people look at messages wrong, even with marriage. College is a networking opportunity. I don't care if you don't graduate. I know a bunch of people who didn't graduate and who are millionaires now because they made the right connections.
Thank you.
You connect with those professors. You connect with those people who you know are going places.
Yes.
I have friends who are friends of pro basketball players and pro football players, and they kept in touch with them because they knew they were going to the league.
Exactly.
Like, I always have free tickets. You network. It's all about who you know. I don't know how many times I've gotten jobs based off of because somebody was speaking on my behalf in a place where I wasn't, and I got the job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or, oh, such and such got this internship because her dad is friends with the CEO. You know, it's really about who you know, and we just don't know enough people.
And so I literally just finished reading a book, Who Not How, and that book has really changed my perspective in so many ways because it highlighted the things that I've been thinking about, but it's putting it in like highlight mode, like boom, this is it. Like what they say, the light bulb went off. All right, so I've been utilizing these skills, but not continuously, not consistently. And so because I'm not activating in all of my who's, I'm feeling pressured in areas. I'm overworking, I'm overthinking. But that's because it's not a situation that I can solve. I need my who to get these things done.
Right.
And so that is something that I tell my mentees because I'm like, I didn't even realize I was mentoring people at first. But, and when it came, to that time of them really putting it out there, it was like, okay, I'm literally responsible for this person's success at this point.
Yeah.
They holding you accountable while you hold them accountable. And so I can't have an off day. I can't have a bad day. I'm going to be impressive just all the time because I just have to be impressive for this person, for my kids, for myself, for my nieces and nephews coming up. It's bigger than me having a bad day today. It's bigger than I'm unable to execute on this time at this time. You have to know how to move through that stuff and push through. That's why season 5, we are talking about pushing through. And what you said is highlighting every point we have made. Am I right?
Perfectly right. And you hit me spot on. It's refreshing to hear another perspective from the corporate arena.
Yes.
In regards to the disparities that we face in presenting ourselves, and like you said, before we even get in the room, is when we're walking through the building. What you said, you represent your name in so many words. I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, I've been mentoring young men, so I mean it's refreshing to hear that you're helping the ladies to do their thing, because we are definitely misrepresented in corporate America, and the people that we need in those spaces that can provide the opportunities aren't there. So yeah, man, that's amazing.
That's big.
For real.
I have always told people that I care so much about how I'm looking and how my hair is and all of those things because presentation is 80%. And that's talking about what I say. Yes, I say how you look is how people treat you. I say so. Yes, I may have on a blazer every day. I may have on, even if I wear a denim jacket, it's going to be a nice looking denim jacket. I'm telling you, all white people always compliment on everything I wear. And I say, it's not that I'm trying to get their attention like that. But at the end of the day, I don't need somebody feeling like I'm incapable of doing something based on what I have on without giving me a fighting chance. And I stay on my daughter about, hey, you can't be walking around with them Crocs on all day. You can't be walking. I say, because people are looking, I say, you're brilliant. You're very intelligent. I say, but they'll never know that because you walking on these Crocs, a baggy shirt, and two big pants. So, like, what are you doing?
Like, that's this generation. I have a 14-year-old little sister, and I look when I pick her up from school, I'm just like, is this what y'all wear? I remember we used to be stepping, like everybody had on the nicest Jordans back in the day. When you couldn't have Usful, you had to have US Polo.
Come on.
Everybody was pressed. We had the line.
You had
the pants, the starch. All of the pants used to be starched up. Hair was done. It would be a mess by the end of the day, but we went to the salon.
You started off right.
Okay. Everybody went to Nails by Cindy. $20 full set. We looked together, even in college, my freshman year. And now it's just like, y'all look like bums. I'm like, did you brush your teeth?
No. For real.
Not in unison.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And then they offended, when you say these things to them. And because it's one little girl, she would always compliment me. And I tell her, thank you, babe. I appreciate it. And so one day she say, you really be doing the most, though. And I say, well, you don't do enough. And the kids started laughing in class. And I didn't do that to embarrass her. I say, but I'm telling you the truth. I say, you'll look cute one day. And then the next day, you'll look like a throwaway child. I say, so what is the motivation for you to look nice? Well, I mean, because it was about to be Friday or because I said, no. Every day you should care about how you look. Every day. I say no day should pass by where you feel like it's okay for that edge to be popping through right there. And we see that little white, scratchy little part. Why do we see this? This is not cute.
Right.
That's not presentable. And so every day she would come by me and say, Ms. Visor, I brushed my hair down today. I say, as you should. You're supposed to do that every day. And so she knows that I'm going to be looking for that. I'm going to be looking how you looking every day. It's another girl I tease her because she always skipping. So I told her, I said, you always doing all this. I said, you need to write down everything you see all day. I say, so you need to get your journal and start journaling. And she was like, really? And she say, well, I don't know. What I'm supposed to do? So she bought one. Some weeks went by. She said, Ms. Visor, I bought their journal. And I said, okay. She said, but I don't know where to start. So I pulled my journal out and showed her. I say, you write today's date. Whatever happened that day.
Yes.
That's what you write. I say, and as time go on, look at it another week or two, another month or so, and you'll see how your mind has progressed from you just seeing what you're doing each day. I say it's important to know where you've been so you can know where you need to go. So
exactly. That's important. Know where you need to go. I feel like a lot of these kids don't see where they could be. So they have no idea how to get there.
Because they don't know. They heard you can be whatever you want to be. They haven't been helped to manifest a true purpose.
Yes.
It's all like, so if I'm just thinking, I got 1,000 thoughts on what I want to do. I want to be a firefighter today. Tomorrow, I might want to be a basketball player. The next day, I might want to be a bodybuilder.
Right.
You can't be whatever you want to be. Like, we're all here for a purpose. So we should start helping the youngsters as early as possible.
That's
develop. We know what they're good at 3, 4, 5, 6. We already see it. Develop that, the right way, so they'll be better off by 18, 19. They're not bumping heads and saying oops. At 18, because it's oops don't work no more at 18, 19.
Sure don't.
But as long as you 13, 14, 15, oops is fine.
Yeah, and your parents can fix the problem for you
before you get out the house.
Man.
It's on you.
Yeah, that's something that I've really noticed, and I've been working like with my younger kids with that, is okay, you want to be an actor? Well, I have friends who are actresses. Let me sit you down with them so they can tell you the ins and outs about it, what's good, what's not good, what to watch out for. And then sometimes when they sit down with people, it's like, oh, okay, this isn't what I thought it would be. I didn't think about that. I didn't know on this side. And a lot of them just don't know what it takes to be an adult. I used to really hate that I grew up too fast, but once I realized, like, oh, I get it. These kids don't get it. They think money come off trees. They don't understand the value of $1. None of that. Once they realize, oh yeah, you know, I want to be this basketball player, but making it to the NBA is a little slim, and being a basketball coach don't really make that much money, and I want to live like this. So what do I need to do to live like this? How much money do I need to make to live like this? What path can I go down if I don't want to go down route A?
Yes.
They need to have those different options, like out of your area. Let me drop you off in the Heights somewhere, or Memorial, or, you know, by the Galleria, and just ask somebody, like the guy on the podcast, sir, what do you do for a living? When did you make your first million? How did you do that? You know, and for them to understand that it's not just an easy route, because social media makes them think they can get it overnight. Sometimes you can, but that's not the case for everybody.
It's not the case. True. That's a real thing, and I appreciate you for pointing it out. And so at this time, KERB, we're going to give y'all a little music break. We're going to take us a little break here. And let's see what we're going to do. Let's do Stevie Wonder, I Wish. Okay. Man, so thank you so much.
YouTube, what's happening?
Yeah,
y'all live. What's going on, man?
Yeah, baby, we got you on all angles.
Yes.
How y'all feeling? You know, let us know what's going on, man. It's been a few gems dropped this first half of the show.
Yeah.
Look, when I tell y'all, I have been trying to get this woman on the podcast, boy, for at least the last year.
Yeah, I'm never home. Oh, I'm never here. You're like, I've been in Louisiana for the past 3 weekends, and then I have weddings next weekend. So I'm like, Lord, I'm ready to sit down.
Yeah,
I was so ready to sit down. So I was like, whatever time you got available, I will put it on the calendar, because I'm so forgetful. I'm terrible.
I feel like that comes with the territory when you are booked and ready like us, because it's a real thing. Everybody, like one of my friends, he just went off on me because I was out with my god sister, and I don't go out. You know, I tell people the streets is not for me. I love the sheets, and so I was hanging out with her, and I completely forgot that I even posted anything. And so he sent me a message and say, "Oh, really? I thought you didn't go out on blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Oh man, look, my bad." I say, at the end of the day, I always rather be at the house chilling. I really do. But my god sister, I hadn't saw her since like last year, and we usually never go this long without seeing each other, like face to face with each other. And so she's like, "No, we about to go. We about to have fun." And I'm like, "Okay. Let's go." Right. And I usually always say no. And she was like, "What? For real?" So we had a good time. But it's just one of those things where you make time for who and what you want to. And that's what I'm learning. And you have to create that balance. And even though we always doing something certain times, and it's hard to break away, but it's important that we do, because you still have to have that time for yourself. You still have to refuel. You still have to recharge. And you still got to love on your people. And so that's something that I've been learning, is to balance it. To balance it. And so, what is something that you have to push through on?
Recently?
Yes. I
hated my last job. I just got a new job this Monday. I absolutely hated it. Thank you. I was so miserable to the point where I was like breaking down crying. And I heard somebody say, if you're not changing, you're choosing. And I heard that. Man. And I was just like, it's time for me to start looking. it's time for me to start looking. And I really had to come to terms with a lot of it is on me. I should have spoke up sooner. And I built my own happiness, basically. So I needed to take a step back, tell my boss, I'm not doing this. You figure it out. And I had to start looking for another job. And it landed in my lap, and I love where I'm at.
My girl say find somebody else to do that because she wasn't doing it no more.
I wasn't doing it. She wasn't stressing me out.
No, that's right.
I lost too much weight.
What? Like that? Nah, that ain't no good.
And that's what, and people don't understand. You put yourself through all this stuff. It's wear and tear on your mind, on your body, your character, because it make you feel like you have to settle for that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And that's why I tell people, they say, what made you pick mental health as your carrier for your podcast? I say, because anything you do starts in your mind.
It does.
Anything you do, anybody you're interacting with, like you have to think about these things before you do it. And I don't think we pay attention enough to how it affects us. And so because we're not paying attention to how something is affecting us, we just out here lollygagging, taking up our own time, messing up with everybody else's time, because we all have things that we need to do. Like Mr.Reed said, we all have a purpose. And I'm big on telling people I live on purpose with purpose at all times. And I'm not wasting my time or nobody else's. And so KERB, we're back with you now. Miss Naomi Morgan was giving us some highlights and some ups and downs that she had went through. And so you can do a recap for the people on the radio.
Yeah, sure. They were saying, what's something that I've had to push through, right? Yeah. And it was my last job, being miserable, and figuring out how to get out of that rut. Because I am a neurodivergent.
Come on here.
You gotta break that down.
Yeah, tell the people. Tell the people.
My brain does not shut off. And I'm just boom, 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 boom. And it was affecting my work a lot. The stress, me not being able to focus. When you're financially in distress as well, it's weighing on you. I wasn't making enough. I was driving over an hour to get to work and to get home. It was just so many different things that was on my mind, and to the point where it was affecting my character, like you said. My boss at the time, everything was wrong. And then at home, everything is wrong. So it's like, how do I make something right? Like, God, what do I do? And I literally had to get back into praying. I had to go back to church. I had to delegate. Cut some things off, cut some people off. You're not messing with me today. And really stop and self-reflect. Like, what is it that I did? Because sometimes it's not blaming yourself, but taking accountability for the mere fact that I didn't speak up for myself. And I told my director that when I had reported my boss. I had told her, she was like, what could we have done to keep you? And I said, nothing. But I should have spoken up sooner instead of living in misery, because I put myself in that situation by not standing up for myself because I was afraid of the outcome. And realizing that at the end of the day, I was going to be okay. I truly was going to be okay. And getting through that, the grass was definitely greener on the other side. So, like I said, if you're not changing, you're choosing.
Y'all hear that? If y'all are not changing, you're choosing. Come on here. And you need to put that on the shirt, friend.
I'm saying, I can't remember where I heard that. It wasn't Jalen Hurts, because he be dropping some gems too.
No, he does.
Yeah, but I don't remember where I heard that from.
So I heard my I call him my internet pastor, Stephen Frederick. So he said something like that in one of his sermons, because he said every time we sit here and we want to blame everything else, you literally said it, blaming everything around you for something that's internal, because we're in control of our happiness. We're the only ones that can control our happiness. And so I have went through so many things that I've had to push through just these last few months. And it's one of those things of, I could have allowed that to mess with my character. I could have allowed that to make me mad at my kids all the time. I could have let that made me quit my job. Like it's just all of these things that are outside of our control that sometimes we do allow that to consume us. And we all know all of this stuff is temporary. It's one thing after another. Just like you had a job 5 years ago, this is just another job that you have. Because at the end of the day, nobody is planning to be at these places the rest of their life. These are somewhere that we are passing through to go to our goals. And so to sit there and be consumed with this negative energy, these negative people, when about 5 years from now, these people not gonna be existing in our life.
Right.
Nothing that they're doing is gonna matter. So I don't care. So I would tell these people, man, I am here to exchange time for money. That is what I'm here for.
Exactly.
Just like all y'all care about is me being 1, 6, 7, 8, my employee number. That's all you care about. So all I care about is the numbers as well.
Exactly.
And it's if I can help me some kids and people in the process, amazing. But at the end of the day gonna end and I'm gonna leave. And I'm not gonna let you bother me. And I'm not gonna he love what I say. Cause like the day gotta end.
It does.
And when it ends, I'm finna go on about my business and I'm finna be impressed with Jess and them kids' mama. I'm not worried about nothing y'all sending at these schools. Y'all barely even taking care of the stuff y'all need to here. I'm not gonna let y'all stress me out when you can't even do your job.
Exactly.
What I look like. So it's
go on
because it's just it can be nerve-wracking to watch people. So I don't be getting mad like that. But when I see other people getting mad, it do bother me.
You sure?
I don't.
Because it kind of sounds like, that's what you would have said.
This is so no.
And that may not be what we should say. Now you may think it, but we may not should say, some of that.
Maybe
somebody should keep a little bit of that tuck, or expand our vocabulary, and you can say what you want to say. Then, for real, if you got the vocabulary, you can say whatever.
Start throwing out them TI words. People like, what the heck did she just say?
Yeah, but nah, I feel you.
And it's one of those things. I made a choice to not allow outside things mess with my internal self.
Yeah.
Those are the choices that I have made. So even when things happening and people know things are happening that they would probably be upset about, I just been smiling, gone for my business, still being Jess because I can't do anything about what somebody else is doing. That has nothing to do with me.
My motto has always been let the ship sink.
That's it.
Let it sink.
Let it sink.
I know that's right. It's not, you're not the captain.
At all.
I know that's right.
At all. They got them lifeboats. I will be on the raft.
Let it sink.
Look.
Well, like the Titanic, huh?
Yes. Let it sink. I have so much less stress when you let it sink.
That's it.
Because you can always rebuild it.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. But, so let's talk about because you just said you can always rebuild it. I believe that like wholeheartedly. I've rebuilt multiple times in life. So, but our community don't believe that. They don't. What we have now is finite, and if we can add to it, cool. But what we have now, man, I can't imagine losing it. I can't imagine things blowing up in my face and me surviving, But you just mentioned it, rebuilding. Like, how can we get that? Because pushing through, after you push through these situations, now, United States had to go through a reconstruction phase after the world wars and the civil wars and all that stuff. Rebuilding, how do we get that concept adapted in the community, especially in corporate America, because you have to always evolve.
You have to be flexible.
We can't continue to think one-dimensional mindset are gonna flourish in a four-dimensional world.
Say it
again. Gonna like my answer.
You said a lot.
A one-dimensional mindset. Right now, we're phasing into a four-dimensional world. We've been in 3D in our younger years, and up till now, we used to go to the 3D movies, put your glasses on, and everything. But now, this is a brand new internet. They're calling it the Internet of Value. This is a brand new financial system. These are brand new constructs that's gonna last for probably the next 100. I don't know how long, but where we are now lasted 100 years.
Right.
So rebuilding, we can't continue to be one dimensional in a four-dimensional space.
Wow.
So how can we?
Y'all not gonna like my answer.
I'm gonna love it.
We not oppressed enough.
Say it again.
Man.
We not oppressed enough.
Ooh. So where is it at?
It's over there.
Look,
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Shots fired. The internet has really taken us back.
Come on.
A lot. And why I say we're not oppressed enough, as a community, we did better, and this is according to my grandmother, before segregation.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We did better.
We had that talk.
During the civil rights because we had no option.
Yes.
And when you give too much space, too many options, the oil starts to spread out. And it's no longer serves its purpose as helping with the flame because it's not enough oil. It's all dispersed within the water, right? So in order to bring us back, you have to make the space smaller. It's not small right now. It's so large. When we think we could go to Colombia and find us something better. Not realizing we don't speak the language. We don't have them same values. We don't understand they mama gonna want to live in the house with y'all. You got to bring the whole family because the cousins and the sisters coming too. They don't get a lot of things. We have not traveled enough to be able to figure out what it is that we need. I feel like the buttons have always been undone. Social media is helping us realize more that the buttons were never put together. They never fastened the shirt. I feel like
say that again.
The buttons was always undone.
They was undone.
Seams was always ripped. Social media is just making us highlight that even more, and it's creating more of a divide. As far as corporate America is concerned, I feel like it has really made people think that they can be a lot that they're not. A lot of people want to start these businesses and they want to do X, Y, and Z. They don't have the proper knowledge or education to really seek that first. Most of the people who are millionaires read a book.
That.
Y'all are just going off of YouTube, and I always tell people, why did you pay $1,000 for somebody to teach you Forex when they read a book? And probably went to Google to figure out a lot of that stuff. Who taught them? Because I bet you they didn't pay $1,000 to learn what they learned. They probably paid $200 to buy the book from Barnes and Nobles, but they didn't pay $1,000 to $1,200.
I just said,
to figure that out. And I feel like, I don't know, that's such a loaded question. That could be a whole other conversation for another day. But
I only mentioned corporate America because we're intimidated by corporate America. I've been in there since 2012. Finance, oil and gas, multiple industry, HVAC. But it's not enough of us. I've a lot of times been the only male on some of my teams.
Wow.
So the women are getting the opportunities. I've seen some of my sisters in there as well. But we are definitely underrepresented, and I like it. But there's no reason to be intimidated. You know what I mean?
And see, I've always seen the other way around.
What's that?
I've always been the youngest person or the only Black person. I've also seen where Black people tear each other down and talk the most mess in the workplace. I've worked in offices that were predominantly Black. Even the company I'm at now, it's a lot of Black people around there. I've seen where we have intimidated them more because we're more educated.
Yes.
Black women are the most educated group right now.
Yes.
Even me, I came from my last job. I was the youngest, right? And I'm getting my master's. I made more than the young lady, thank you, sitting next to me. And I also had my PHR. I'm certified human resource professional. So she gave me hell. She did not want to listen to me at all because here it is, she's 50 or going on 50, and she didn't even graduate high school.
Wow.
So I'm coming in younger, a little bit more stern, ready to go. And every opportunity I got, sis was knocking me down, like making me look crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally went off on her in a meeting. I said, well, if
you gotta pop out of show.
Right. I almost lost my job though, but if it wasn't for the
I bet you should never do that again.
She didn't. We was cool. We was cool as ice after that. But I literally said in front of everybody in the room, I said, well, if you're not going to do your job, why are you here?
Why are you here?
And everybody said, oh, church finger, church finger, let me walk out. But I was so serious. They don't play me like no fool.
Yeah, and it's not to be disrespectful or anything.
No, I mean disrespect.
That's the facts, though.
I mean disrespect.
What I'm saying is, though, even though you mean it disrespect, it's a real thing. So she shouldn't have took it to a bad place because that's a real thing. If you're gonna sit here day to day and all you want to do is nag and complain about something that, like, you making a choice to be depressed and upset at work every day. So don't get mad at me because of the choices that you're making. So.
Exactly. Luckily, at that role, the director of HR at that time, who was my boss, was a Black woman, and she set me down. She was like, "Girl, you gotta apologize. That was so mean." But had I been in another space where that person would not have protected me, I would not have been protected because I've gone off on a Becky at another job and I got fired that same day.
Yeah.
But luckily I had a job like the next day at the adjacent company. Yeah. So I was like, whatever, I don't care. But we got to be very mindful of, although we even might still be in these higher positions, we still don't have the same leverage as some of our other counterparts. And I had a male coworker, my very first corporate job. He was like, don't let anybody cross you once.
Yeah.
And I was like, for real? But then again, thinking back on it, he could probably not let them cross him. But I couldn't.
Yeah.
So I had to think decorum and what's the best way to go about this and make sure that I get my point across.
Yeah.
But still keep my job.
Yeah. And I feel like that comes with emotional intelligence. That comes with experience. And that comes with time. One of our it was the second episode, I want to say, of this series, Pushing Through, ensuring that you're not giving people what's in your cup, but you're letting them get the overflow. And so you giving people that kind of energy and not thinking about yourself first in that moment, you just giving away all of what you worked hard for. And we have to learn to stop doing it. It's not easy because I worked in predominantly male professions most of my professional life on corporate level and government level, because when I was in law enforcement, and I tell people at times I was like, man, how could I make it working with these men every day? And I literally worked with men all day long, every day, older white men, older Black men, older Hispanic men, and it was just kind of like, if I didn't get on their ass, it was hard to get through the day. So sadly, you got to pop off on at least 2 or 3 so they can know that, I may be a little younger, I may be smaller, but best know I know my job just as well as you do. And what you're not going to do is have me doing your job. You most definitely going to still be held accountable for the part that you need to do, and I'll do my part. Now, if you need some assistance, that's one thing, but I'm not here to do nobody else's job.
Right.
And so that was something that I had to learn to do in the most professional way possible. At times, no, I didn't say it professionally, but I feel like I met their energy. I met them with the energy they was giving me. But once again, you learn that, okay, well, that probably wasn't the best way to do it.
Right.
But like you said, thank God I was covered by by some of my supervisors. And they was like, okay, just go chill out, man. Get yourself together. Or, well, come here, let me talk to you. Because it's like they know that even though the way I said it could have been better, I could have delivered that message way more professionally than I did. But at the end of the day, they get it. Because at that point, I'm emotionally triggered. Because it's every day of somebody having something to say. It's every day of somebody nitpicking everything I did, every step I did, every report I'm writing. I don't want to deal with that because it's not how you write yours. I'm wrong.
Yes. So, oh my gosh, that was my experience at my last job.
And it was like, it's easier said than done, of course, but you have to utilize at all times your emotional intelligence, your integrity, your decorum. All of those things are key in making it generally in business, in your family, and at your house. Like, you have to be able to cognitively make those decisions and know that I did what was best for me in this moment. I'm looking at my future self. I'm looking at the things to come and not just right now, today, because it's bigger than today. And that's why I try to always tell my students and even my kids, today is temporary. Whatever you feel and how you feeling, that's for today. By the end of the day, you ain't gonna even care about this no more. So you this mad right now that you gonna crash out, as they saying, and risk it all over somebody that don't even care about you anyway. We not doing this.
Yeah.
We not on my watch. We not.
So I love that emotional intelligence.
It's just I'm just really big on that because I learned so much from becoming I call it a mental bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? Building your mind so much and so strong, just like you would your muscles when you're in the gym. Your mind has to be that strong so that stuff can just roll off of you. And law enforcement, they taught us to not be offended. And I think because I was so groomed to that mindset, I just took it with me. Because people not gonna like you. People have something to say about you all the time, every day. Because you young, because you black, because you pretty. Who gets mad at people because they pretty is crazy to me. And it's just, I'm talking about, that threw me when I saw how many people was mad because I decided to look nice. Why are you mad at me? Right. So it's just learning that your perspective of me doesn't make it true. That's what you think, and that's your mind. And you can have your opinion, but that's not a fact. So that's all about it.
Amen. Amen.
You can have your opinion, but that's not a fact.
I like that.
Like
write that down.
For real, I know.
Put it on the wall.
No,
put it on the wall.
Man, girl, we did it. This is crazy. Hey, look at us.
Time flies when you having fun.
When you having fun. So tell everybody where they can find you, beautiful.
Personally, you can find me mostly on Instagram at the Naomi Devora, but my business is allshe.academy. So we have a meeting, our first general meeting of the year this Wednesday. So you can find out about the organization. We'll be talking about scholarships, if you need mentorship or if you want to be a mentor, how to enroll, how to help out and give back and stuff like that. So we're super excited. It'll be this Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Zoom.
Aww.
Yes. So
so that link is on the website?
Yes, it's on the website. We have a flyer, you just RSVP, and it's for members and non-members to just learn more about the program. And then moving forward, we'll have more tailored webinars. Members are free, but everyone else will probably be a fee. It depends on if we have a guest speaker or not. But yeah, we'll be starting different series to try to help young people build those skills until they're ready to go into the next phase.
I love that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so, Miss Morgan, this is Mr. Reed of Mr. Reed's Catering Services.
Yeah.
So this one here, you know I love to say it. So tell Miss Morgan what all you do.
Man, I do a lot, Miss Morgan, but mainly catering. But
I get excited. So
recently, I've been doing a lot of work with Knowledge First Academy and Career Institute. So I'm training young people as well to developing skills in particular trades if they're not fit for college, if they feel they don't, that's not their route. We have a career institute where we kind of teach them the skills and get them certified and help them with job placement. But first we help them get their diplomas instead of GED. So if anybody out there, if you're not 21 yet and you do need your high school diploma, you don't have to settle for your GED.
Amen.
You can still get your diploma, man. Go to knowledge-firstacademy.org. Register, send us give us your email, whatever it is. We'll definitely get back with you, get you started, and hopefully we can get you some skills and get you employed on the back end as well. But on the catering blast, no event is too big or too small because Mr.Reed caters a mile, man.
I
Barbecue
love it.
season right now, so we smoking meat. You dig? I'm helping you with your meal preps. We taking the food and not the pills. So we giving y'all for prescription pills and electrifying your body by reallocating some of these daily calories to a more self-sufficient meal. So Mr. Reed's Catering Company on IG, on Facebook. That's where I'm at. But knowledge-first.org, man, that's important, y'all.
Is that for men and women?
It is.
Okay.
Definitely. And the She Academy, that can go well. We can get some funding for that.
Okay.
It's going well. Girls is out here changing lives in real time, and I love to see it. And that's why I wanted to bring her and just talk so we could just talk about that. And so as usual, KERB, I love you guys. I appreciate the opportunity for you letting me share my platform and others and giving back to us because it's Houston and we gonna always stand up for one another and stand on big business. Big business. And so I appreciate it once again. Thank you to all the people that are on here. We have other good shows on here, other talk shows, other DJs on here mixing it up and holding it down. So I love you guys. Y'all be blessed. And we're gonna leave you guys with some Erykah Badu, Apple Tree. Love her.
Yes.
All right, YouTube. See y'all on what's today? Saturday. So I'll see y'all Monday for Motivation Monday. And then I'll see y'all Thursday for Thursday. This is the beautiful Miss Naomi Morgan. And this is Mr. Reed.
Y'all already seen me.
I know.
We good.
All right, y'all.
Drop your comments though, because tonight was another epic night. We need to know your thoughts. We need to know what's going on. Drop your questions. We'll answer some questions next week.
Yes.
Just interact with us, man. Let us know how we doing. You feel me?
All right, y'all. So it's Jess and Jess Talk. See y'all later. Be blessed. Love on people that love on you, and the rest of them pray for them. And remember, when you look good, you feel good.
Yes.